let's talk Triumph Street Scrambler. So this is maybe 11 months after I've had this bike, so I just wanted to give my thoughts on owning it for almost a year. I haven't put a ton of miles on it, to be honest, just right around 2,200 miles. I've been driving this and my other bike, and I sold my other bike. But I've got 2,200 miles on it, so you can sort of get an idea of how it performs, and some things that I would change and some things that I really like about it. So I guess to start, let's talk about the pros. Like my previous video, it's torquey, peppy. It's just a fun bike just to get on and put a smile on your face. It handles relatively well. Pretty comfortable sitting position, and the seat's not terrible. It's adequate. The longest ride I've taken it on is about maybe 5 hours or 6 hours, and I was fine. No numb bum, no sciatica or anything like that, so definitely passable. Upright seating position is comfortable. Handlebars are not bad. Just all around, it's not a bad bike. It's getting more and more agile, I would say, less bumpy. It has softened out a bit. So what I mean by that is the shocks are a little bit more forgiving, and I would say styling on this is another strong point for this bike. This is a sharp looking bike. There's no ways about it. I've seen, when I first saw the bike, I wanted to get the green or the flat black, and I'm sort of glad I didn't, since the fact that it seems like that's what everyone else got. You know, I'm not a big fan of shiny, bright objects. I like dull, matte. I've always been sort of that not bright, standout colors for vehicles, unless it's like a crotch rocket or something, but even then I don't like it. And this one, so I was a little leery on the red, but you know, the red is sort of growing on me. It doesn't mean I might not paint it, but it stands out. Everywhere I go, people like the looks of the bike. They like the color, and I've got to say, in person, this Corsa red is really nice. That being said, would I have liked the green or the black? Maybe. I would have been happy with either one of those, but this one is definitely nice. So shift smooth. It's got power through the entire range. Again, it's a 5-speed. Maybe would have liked to seen a 6-speed for highway, but it's fine. It cruises along. I can get it up to, it cruises along at 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour without even missing a beat. And it'll cruise along faster than that. Just that's generally what I cruise along at if I'm on the highway. And it's totally, there's not much in the way of vibration, which is nice. So shift smooth, brakes work well. I was, looking at, the Thruxton and looking at the Brembo, and I was like wondering if this was going to be enough. And it's, the disc brakes on this are plenty powerful. The ABS works well. I can tell you, I've used it once that, it was sort of one of those unintended stops, and it didn't lock up on me, which was great. The traction control is superb on this. It makes it, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, and, I like spinning my wheels in the dirt and stuff like that, but I'm telling you, on the road, like if you want to just like crank on the throttle and not worry about like spinning out and just start, you can get that now nice throaty growl. This traction control is awesome because you don't chirp or anything, and you can turn it off at the stoplight or whatever if you want, but you know, I can go 0 to 30 no problem without worrying about the front end coming up. But if I want the front end to come up, I can always turn the traction control off. What else is good about this? Overall styling, again, it's just a sharp looking bike. Now let's go to some minor cons, and this is just my personal preference. This is no way like I didn't take the bike apart and do everything. So my first order of business is chrome. I hate chrome, and I hated the mirrors. So I changed the mirrors. I just got a cheap pair of mirrors off Amazon for like 15 bucks, bar end mirrors, and they make the bike look that much nicer. You know what's going on here. Chrome on the bike. I just don't like chrome on any bike. And this gas tank cover cap is going to get taken off. And the brake and the clutch levers I'm going to change at some point to black. And then and just for my riding position, I'm about 5'10", probably about 190 pounds. The bike handles pretty well with my weight, but I think I'm going to put risers on the bars. Just how I ride my mountain bike, it's how I've rode in motocross bikes. So that's just sort of the way. That guy's all over the road. This is the way I'm comfortable. So, and I'll probably change it to black bars just to get rid of this silver, or this matte silver, or whatever color it is, graphite gray color. So that's on my to-do list. So, but I mean that doesn't affect. You know, someone might get on this and it may be the perfect height for them. But for me, it's just a little too far forward, or just not high enough. That's just my personal preference. So I may put risers on or just different bars. I haven't decided yet, but probably different bars and risers. What else do I want to say that I would change? The foot pegs, the passenger pegs are fine. The driver pegs, they're a little low. So when I'm on this road and there's no traffic, even if I'm doing 35 and I take the turns a little aggressive and sharp, I definitely have hit the pegs countless times. And it's just, I'm getting a little bit better with it, knowing where those pegs are. But it's not the end of the world. And then another nice feature I forgot to mention is the USB charger under the seat. There is a USB charger included with this bike under the seat. And I just ran a USB cord up just to charge my phone as I'm riding or run the GoPro or whatever it is that I want to. And then I changed a couple other things. I changed, well, I'll get to it. One other thing I would like to change is the seat. So a disappointment for me was, and I had high hopes for it originally, was originally I had really high hopes for the little, rack on the back, because the pillion seating is removable, so you can have just like a single saddle, which is you could have two people on it. I've had someone sitting on my seat, and it's not super comfy, but it's enough space to have two. But with that little rack, it holds 6 pounds, and even with a tail bag, most tail bags are 3 or 4 pounds. So you can carry a pair of gloves. Like it's kind of ridiculous. It's just like a joke. It would have been, in my opinion, much better just to have something go right into the frame and actually put a usable rack on it. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to change the seat and get like a full bench seat. One thing I did change was I put a competition header on it, and just to give it a little bit more harsh growl, and I think it does a wonderful job of that. But you definitely can feel a little bit more punch in the low end, and it sounds much better throughout the range. And that leads me to my biggest pet peeve of the bike, is the exhaust. It's a gorgeous looking exhaust. It's chrome. I would have liked to see like something like flat black. That's just me, just because I don't like shiny things. But just the layout of this exhaust. So everyone looks at it and says it's gorgeous, but is it hot? Like, do you not burn your legs on it? And I can honestly say it's warm, but not hot. So Triumph did a wonderful job engineering that. But what they didn't do a great job engineering was leg position. So I mentioned it in the first video, like when I'm standing up on the bike, just the way the exhaust comes out of the, like where the header is. It's hard to stand up. You don't get your full foot on the peg. So if I'm standing up off-road or anything like that on the right side, you can't use the full peg. It's just really awkward. And then these gorgeous plastic knee pads that they put on the gas tank for your knees. The right one is pretty much useless because of the position of the exhaust. It just comes out too far, so you can't get your knee into that knee pad, which is a little disappointing. If I could change it, I would, but it doesn't make me want to drive it any less. I don't go, oh geez, I gotta go take the street scrambler out and that exhaust is gonna annoy me. So overall, how would I rate the bike? I can't lie. I grab the keys in my helmet and I smile. Click like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let's break the YouTube machine.